absolutely awesome, but there are still a few nice warm days left before winter officially sets in. And I'm spending mine right here at the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens. This is Trendz Travel, and I'm your host, Eloise Goebel. Durban's Moses Mabhida has played host to some awesome events, but none as huge as the Monster Jam Festival. These epic shows are also known for its mammoth pre-show pit parties, giving the crowd unprecedented access to the stars of the show. The excitement is palpable as kids and adults alike stand in line to meet and greet the Monster Jam superstars and get the drivers' autographs. Before the big show, fans have the opportunity to get up close to each Monster Jam truck and to purchase official Monster Jam merchandise to show their support for their favorite truck, team and driver.
We are for Grave Digger.
Grave Digger? Why is Grave Digger your favorite? Because I think it's very good.
I think it's very good, but I love the zombie. So what if the zombie beats the Grave Digger?
No chance.
You think it never happened? I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Hey, okay, I tell you what. If you don't think it's gonna happen, I want you to scream as loud as you can for Grave Digger. You ready?
1, 2, 3. Grave Digger!
Fans already vie for their favorites, and it seems that Zombie, with its protruding arms, is at the top of the list. So, how's it being here with all these South African fans today?
Oh man, the energy at this pit party is unreal. For us to be here for the first time ever and get this kind of fan response, we're gonna have a good, fun time tonight.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to this. Anybody here a Zombie fan? Yeah? We're gonna have a good time tonight. We look forward to it.
Yes, and we're gonna have the whole stadium doing the zombie arm wave when I go out there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, we got some zombie wavers here. Let's see how you guys do it.
Oh yeah,
there we go.
Yep, they got it down.
Great, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thanks. To complete the experience and give a little more behind the scenes feel, fans are given a quick show of what it takes to bring Monster Mutt Dalmatian to life. The pit crew busy themselves adding all of the body parts to the shell of the truck. The exercise takes a few minutes with a dozen busy hands, and voila, there's a whole complete monster truck ready to race. With the pit party winding down and people making their way inside the stadium, we take you back to yesterday when we had our very own little VIP one-on-one session with the drivers. So, welcome to South Africa Festival.
Thank you.
What are you doing here today?
Man, today is Media Day here in Durban. It's the first time I've ever been here. It's the first time Monster Jam has been here, so everybody's excited to get this tour started. We're going to do practice here today, and then for the big show on Saturday, we've got a sold-out crowd coming to this stadium, so I can't wait to show them what Monster Jam's all about.
Okay, so you spoke about practicing. What is it that you're practicing?
You have to practice everything with these trucks. They're 12,000-pound Monster Jam trucks with 1,500 horsepower. And we jump them 20, 30 feet in the air. So there's literally no time to think. You have to react. You have to have your skill set kind of honed in on the job at hand. So the amount of preparation and mental toughness that goes into driving one of these is pretty intense. So, I mean, we've got some of the best safety equipment in the world right there inside the truck, and I'm wearing a helmet, a Hans device, a full fire suit, fire shoes and gloves. So everything is done for a purpose when it comes to driving these trucks. So we get to practice about once a year at Monster Jam University, and it's just impressive how far this sport has come ever since I saw them at 6 years old.
Okay, great. Well, take me on a tour of your of your huge zombie.
All right, well, we're going to start with the obvious. These are 66-inch tall BKT tires. They're made specifically for monster trucks. As you can see right here, it says for monster truck use only. So they're specifically engineered to do what we do. These are the Generation 3 tires. There's a lot of technology and research and development that goes into them. And then we've come up to the shocks. We've got 8 nitrogen-charged shocks. There's 26 inches of travel in the front, 30 inches of travel in the rear. We've got a custom fiberglass painted body. It's just a shell of a truck. You don't have the amenities inside of the interior. No power windows, no air conditioning. Of course, we've got these arms. Everybody loves the zombie arms. They're made out of foam, so it's almost like a Nerf football type of foam material. Custom paint job throughout. Back here, I call this the business end. This is a 1,500 horsepower V8 Monster Jam engine, and it runs on methanol fuel, makes about 1,500 horsepower. It's pretty incredible. Like you said before, you can feel the power that these trucks make. So they're all purpose built for what we do. Everything's been computer designed, and it's just amazing how far the technology advancements have gone in this sport.
Of course, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get inside one of these monster truck juggernauts just to complete my very own VIP experience. The practice session of the larger-than-life spectacular takes place on a specially designed track that optimizes mobility so that the most recognizable trucks in the whole world can go head-to-head. These sessions are much, much louder than I had expected, and Moses Mabhida Stadium has been turned into a muddy sandpit.
We actually turned this into a big playground for us. They actually lay down plastic over the grass so they don't hurt the grass, lay down a layer of plywood, and bring a whole bunch of dirt in and a little bit of sand in there for the corners. It's basically a great big playground for us.
Having never been to a monster truck rally ever in my life, I expected huge trucks driving over ordinary little cars, crushing them. But I was given the lowdown of what is really going to go down.
In the show itself, you've got racing. We're going to do round elimination racing. So it's basically side-by-side racing until you whittle it down to a winner there. From there, we're going to go on to what's called two-wheel skill. We get to go out there and do whatever we want on two wheels. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do on two wheels. You can do wheelies. I like doing a slap wheelie where I slam it down, bring it up, and I'll wave my hands out the window as I'm doing it, if everything goes right. Some guys can actually trip the truck up on the nose and actually get the balance and drive it back and forth. They've mastered that. Some guys can actually, what we call a bicycle, and put it on the side wheels and basically bicycle. From there, we go on to the donut contest. Basically, whoever can do the best donut, however fast you can wind it around. Sometimes they'll actually go up on two wheels. Hey, sometimes they roll over. You never know. From there, we go on to my favorite. It's called freestyle. Freestyle, anything goes. You get to go out there and do whatever you want for 2 minutes. You can go out there and do the donuts. You can get big air. You can put it up on its nose. You can do slap wheelies, wave out the window. Whatever you can get the crowd up and roaring for, that's what it's all about. Entertaining our Monster Jam fans.
Just in case you thought that this gigantic sport is for men only, think again. We caught up with one of its female drivers. Becky McDonough is one of the outstanding daredevil female Monster Jam truck drivers.
I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but how does a female get into doing a Monster Jam?
Right, yes, it is typically, I feel, always known as a male-dominated sport, but this is something I fell in love with in 9th grade. I always wanted to be a part of Monster Jam, so I actually started off underneath the truck as a crew chief for the first 5 years before making my way behind the wheel. For the most part, a lot of people don't know if it's a male or female out there, but in today's age, there are more and more women coming into the sport, which is so cool to see, and the fans do pay attention. The fans do know now, and they think it's incredible to see a woman out there, and it's, it just has inspired a lot of other females to get into the sport, whether it's the fans or underneath the trucks as mechanics or drivers or what have you, but it's been, it's really neat. And no, I think the fans definitely react differently to it being a female.
El Toro Loco is one raging bull who can smell the fear of its competitors. Now it's back to the monstrous show.
Guys, it's Monster Jam 2019. We've taken you behind the scene. We've got some really great interviews, and now it's time for the big show right here at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. Are you ready?
With the best truck lineup assembled for an international stadium performance, the show features 8 of the world's most famous Monster Jam trucks, including Monster Jam World Finals champions Grave Digger and Max D, providing an unforgettable experience for the entire family. Monster Energy, Gas Monkey Garage, Megalodon, Zombie, El Toro Loco, and Monster Mud Dalmatian join the impressive showdown. The 2019 Monster Jam season sees trained world-class international male and female athletes battle it out for supremacy on the track. The 5-ton trucks race head-to-head around the track, and losing opponents are eliminated. There is nothing ordinary about these gargantuan trucks racing around the field. Their sheer size and sound are deafening. as they perform jaw-dropping feats trying to master corners, and of course every flip is welcomed. Getting the trucks turned back right side up is just as interesting to watch. And the crowds are in awe, cheering as though they're part of the show. Then it's on to more eliminating rounds. Fan favorites were the obstacle course racing, sending the trucks flying high into the night air with no holds barred. No self-respecting Monster Jam competition would be complete without the motoring trinity. That is wheelies, donuts and freestyle, pushing the Monster Jam trucks to their limits and beyond. And they don't just do it all for the glory, because there's an actual point system, making Bari Musawer the zombie, the first ever overall events champion, ending the night with an epic backflip.
As part of Africa, we're giving its people the great future it deserves with an investment partner like no other, you. We've invested 120 billion rands of our money and yours into creating more than just hope for this beautiful continent we call home. We're sustaining our soil and enriching lives. We're giving our children a brighter tomorrow. We're investing in small businesses to grow the economy. And we're bringing warmth and light to the people who need it most. And by investing in our planet, we're passing this all on to future generations too. Great things are possible when we invest together. That's why we're invested in changing Africa's tomorrow.
Did you know the big hole digging started in 1871 and ended on the 14th August 1914? The hole produced 2,722 kgs of diamonds. However, one diamond as huge as 490 carat of stone found in the open prior 1868 gave them the interest to dig. Extracted from 22.5 million tons of soil. Today, the hole sits at a breathtaking 214 meters deep. Kimberley Big Hole attracts tourists from all over the world, taking a vintage tram past the city, then cycling around the Big Hole.
Now you know that we here at Trendz Travel love exciting cuisine, and so that's exactly what we did with our Indian street food. Coming up next, do take a look. Tava Indian Restaurant in Montecasino specializes in Indian cuisine and has its roots in a place affectionately known as God's own country, Kerala, India. Guests come dressed in their best Indian attire to celebrate the opening of their street food offering. And to follow custom, they are greeted with a traditional welcome blessing, a dot on the forehead.
See, when you go to India, you always see the people selling food on the street. So there is a huge market for the Indian street food in India. So we thought it will be a good idea to replicate it in Johannesburg and give the people of Josie a taste of Indian street food. Normally you can get the curries and other stuff in Indian restaurants, but street food is a specific and a separate experience by itself. That's what we have tried.
The cart with the street food is an authentic replica of the kind you would see in India and serves patrons with their first course, Pani Puri and Punjabi chaat.
From the street food you started with Pani Puri, which is a crisp bread filled up with the potato, onion and filled up with water, which is called the pani. And it is in India it is eaten one after the other standing at the cart. So that's why we brought the cart in, so that you can get the real feeling of Indian street food.
No Indian celebration would be complete without guests being regaled with Bollywood-style dances. These take to the dance floor and do not fail to impress. While dancers perform, the canapes make their way to the table. These are filling finger foods that can be substituted for an entire meal, and there's something for everyone, starting with veg patties. Then there are also the prawns chili, and lastly a requested edition of Tava Tandoori chicken bunny.
So bunny chow is South African concept, which we, as Philip mentioned, there was constant demand for bunny chow. So we thought we should do it in a traditional Indian way. So that is when I had a discussion with my chefs, and we decided, okay, we will try something on the tandoor, and that is where we came up with the concept of a small bunny, which is a tandoor bread filled up with either chicken or lamb. So it is a moving item at the moment. People like it.
Tava prides itself on its unique Indian tapas offering, pure indulgence. Perfect for sharing, perfect for experiencing. This way you don't have to choose. You can literally sample everything on the sharing menu, and that's exactly what we did with the main course. Lamb urlatu with bone, coconut fish curry, Tava shahi chicken, veg makhni and tadka dal. All in all, an array of delicious fragrant curries, each with its own particular hotness setting, served with either basmati rice or assorted bread and raita, pickles and chutney. With patrons indulging to their heart's content, some opting to eat with fingers and hands instead of Western cutlery, dancers once again entertain and enthrall with another performance. With everyone well fed and sufficiently entertained, we are invited to the dance floor to try our hand, or rather feet, at traditional Indian dance. Recently relocated to Joburg's newest arts development, Victoria Yard, this glass studio and gallery will lure you in with its eye-catching glass objects full of colourful swirls. And Nadia was there to give us a bit of a tour.
Fine arts is a diverse study with many exciting fields one gets to specialize in. This time we met up with a specialist that went all the way to Sweden for glass design. Lawrenceville, Joburg has become a hub for the arts.
Well, we are Smelt Glass Studio. We are a public studio. We've been running for about 5 years with my new partner, Mike Hyam. And we have been busy working here and collaborating with artists and students. And our main vision is to have a platform where many people can come to our studio and work with the glass, because glass blowing is quite a special process to work with and very expensive. So the idea is that we have a lot of people who can have access to a studio. Glass blowing, it takes about 10 years to become a master glass blower. It's a very special skill. It's a bit like a dance. You have it's almost the feeling of having a long big pipe, a hollow pipe, and you pick up molten glass, which is a bit like thick toffee. It's about 1,200 degrees Celsius we work at, and we pick up the glass and we shape it and we blow it, and we work with a machine called the glory hole, where we reheat the glass, and we sit at a bench, and at the bench we do all the glass work. But it depends on the design. This is a very quick, in a nutshell, explanation, but it can become very elaborate and very complex depending on what you've designed for the art shop.
Glass is liquid when it's hot, so by constantly rolling the pole, it prevents it from falling and breaking. Gravity also helps to shape the glass. Glass blowing is an intricate process. It's like a dance, she said. Once you start, you don't stop until the product is finished. And if and when you make a mistake, you simply start over.
People love it. I think we at Victoria Yard, it's a very nice place we are now. We've been here for 2 years. And people love it. I think the glass blowing is it's a performance, which you do. So when you see the glass, and we've always been in a public space where people can come and sit, they can bring their children, they can bring their grandparents, and they can come and sit here and watch us work, even if we're working on commission work, because it's so nice to see.
The works that are on display belong to the artists that utilize the studio. Absolutely wonderful works, evident that it was done by masters of the craft.
We'll be taking a very short break, but do remember that we love hearing from you, so why don't you catch us on Twitter or on Instagram. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
As part of Africa, we're giving its people the great future it deserves with an investment partner like no other, you. We've invested 120 billion rands of our money and yours into creating more than just hope for this beautiful continent we call home. We're sustaining our soil and enriching lives. We're giving our children a brighter tomorrow. We're investing in small businesses to grow the economy. And we're bringing warmth and light to the people who need it most. And by investing in our planet, we're passing this all on to future generations too. Great things are possible when we invest together. That's why we're invested in changing Africa's tomorrow.
The SABC News mobile app is your one-stop digital portal to all the news you need. Stay connected with the latest in breaking news. Watch the SABC News channel along with clips and live streams of all the big news events. And listen to all the SABC News radio stations live, including podcasts and much more. Simply download the SABC News app to your Android or iOS device from either the Play Store or the App Store. SABC News, independent, impartial.
In a UN report, scientists say climate change is getting worse.
1/3 of our food sources for the population come out of the ocean.
We spoke to people who have been directly affected.
We have lost a lot of cattle. Gemsbokvlakte, Tosca gebied and Jakkalskop. Everywhere you will see there's animals dying.
I've lost 2 of my cattle this January.
Africa's demand for clean drinking water is rising.
Drinking water is a top priority.
The next day when the water comes back, it's dirty.
I have implemented a level 5 water restriction, effective immediately.
Environmentalists seek solution to preserve the planet.
This is Cape Kirpa, which is also one of the endemic species that is only found within the Western Cape, so it occurs nowhere else in the world except in our water systems.
Solani Mkiva says that they believe that the king should be released and that they are not being opportunistic.
The last 4 years we have been engaging with government. It cannot be a post-colonial government that begins to jail a king in a context of what actually happened.
Bobby Solomons, he's the spokesperson of the Alex Shutdown Committee, the multi-billion rand Alexander Renewal Project. Nothing came of that.
Community wants to know what really happened to the money.
The creative director of the label, Mansu, that of course means black is beautiful in Sesotho. What has been your experience in that regard, given some of the more established labels that you have managed to work with?
It is hard. 15 years is a long time. There's a lot of sacrifice for your family to make for you.
This is the thing.
Wearing the got the brief.
This is it this morning.
Trendz Travel loves the culture of festivals, and since there were so many happening on May Day, we decided to bring you some local entrepreneurial fashion and food culture.
This laid-back, ultimate backyard experience proved to be the perfect way of spending Workers' Day. Hundreds descended on this farm north of Johannesburg for good food and fashion, with music being the order of the day.
So Flavor Chillers is our campaign that we have in order to bring the Backyard Festival to our consumers. So right now we are showing you how we do our Flavor Chillers, and now for the rest of our campaign we want to see how our consumers, what their take is on a Flavor Chillers. But the great thing is that we're going to have our awesome influencers having their own Flavor Chillers, showing consumers what their take on a Flavor Chillers is.
Local musicians serenaded music lovers, and American trap jazz artist Masego's sterling performance was the cherry on top. True to its form, the festival was full of fashion-forward individuals who were draped to the nines. But what should one wear to such events if they want to stand out?
Yeah, basically I'm helping people coordinate their looks and tell you how to have festival drip. I think you need to be unique to stand out, you know, so that when people take pictures you don't camouflage with the tree. But if you want to wear camo, that's welcome. Not saying you're camouflaging, but just do what you do and look your best. Like, pictures are forever. Remember that.
If you missed this experience, be on the lookout for the next Backyard Chillers this winter.
Now, we do hope that you enjoyed this week's lineup, as we do enjoy bringing it to you every single week. I'm Eloise signing out for Trendz Travel, and we hope to see you again next week, same time, same place.